Right then. Good morning. We are off for a bit of a jolly today. Thank you very much for waiting. Yeah. I don't have to be at work until 20 past 12, or my shift starts at 20 past 12, so I'm going to take the long way around through Bethesda, Betus and Planroost, the back road round, which Google reckons changes my 45-minute journey to an hour and 45, or an hour and 42. So, oh, I can see specks of rain. That is no good sign, is it? It is raining now. There's me thinking that I'd go on a nice spring sunny ride. Yeah, whatever. Welcome to Wales. That's not just rain, that's flipping hailstones. Which probably means my choice of route is completely the wrong one to take. Because the roads will be nice and slippy and greasy and slow. And I got my summer gloves on. Ah, cold hands. Right then. We're going to go at Nant Ffrancon. Anybody want a pine lodge? Just 500 quid shy of 50 grand. Alright, let's see if we can not hold up these cars. I'm not the quickest rider, so and I've never been up here on this bike. Been up on my old GPZ. What I have noticed is I didn't really take much notice of how quick I was on the GPZ. So, although I'm finding myself having to not bully this thing around corners, but it doesn't turn in as readily. It's sort of, you can get this thing to point in a direction just by, you know, a little sort of body shift, but then to actually get it to go round the corner, you have to give it some extra. You have to sort of lever it round, and I'm sort of getting used to it. But when you have to change direction, like bends like this now, where you've got one direction, and I'm going to have to change for this direction. And then when I come round, I'm going to have to change again. It's that little bit there, that little transition there, and then that final little nudge to get round. I just end up having to sort of, I get the feeling I'm having to put too much effort into doing it. And I'm just conscious of whether that's slowing me down considerably, or whether it's just that the fact that because I've been on a bike for long enough now, I'm starting to pick my speed up a little bit, and that's why I'm feeling it, you know? It'd be nice if I'd have sort of had the notion to have an idea of how quick I was going on the GPZ when I was sort of comfortable with that style of turning in, so I could sort of compare the speeds. Because at the moment, I'm only comparing feelings, but yeah, I could still be going quicker. Equally, I could be going a lot slower, which is my concern. And it's not a concern because I'm worried about the speed, it's just a case of, you know, if it is slowing me down and I'm finding it difficult, then it might be just that style that I'm not ready for, used to, or it just doesn't suit me, you know? But if I'm actually going the same speed or quicker, then that just explains it. So yeah, although to be fair, I'm clipping along at the maximum legal speed limit here, not holding anybody up at all. Just mindful him coming down there. Move out for him, yeah, it's fine. Move back in for him. just mindful of this slush obviously still on the pavements, and it's melting onto the road in parts here. So just mindful of temperature, making sure I don't do anything silly and find myself picking the bike up off my leg. So I've dropped down to about 45-50 now. Take a gear off. Just up to 35-40. I was going to straighten that up then. You can do it in the other direction, although they've now marked the white line so you can't. This is where I learnt to drive along here. I know the road from a car's perspective, but yeah, not from a bike's perspective. So that's why I'm a little bit ginger. Going a little bit gingerly. Much more than I would in a car, to be honest with you, because as I said, I know the road from driving a car's perspective, which should mean I'm okay on a bike, but obviously it's not. It doesn't translate. I think that's maybe where a lot of car drivers that jump onto bikes get into problems. They sort of ride the bike into bends and that as they would a car. Sometimes they're at a disadvantage because they can go a lot quicker. And other times they're at a disadvantage because they should be going a lot slower on the bike. If you get things right, and I mean I'm not experienced enough to really be correct on this, but so far my head's sort of worked out, might be completely wrong. So far I think the differences between a car and a bike for me are, if you get things right on a bike, you are a lot quicker than a car. If you don't get it right, you're a lot flipping slower, and you run the risk of putting yourself on the side. See? I knew the temperature was cold because my fingers are cold. That's actually still frozen over. You probably can't see that on the camera. So I'm just going to be careful of the road surface here. That's a good indicator to me that if a body of water can be frozen, then a little puddle on the road can be frozen as well. Especially if this is melting and then it's run into a shadow, and then overnight it's frozen and the sun hasn't been allowed to come out and do its thing. Sheepy. Oh, it's a goat, it's not a sheepy. It's not finger freezing cold, that's bollock freezing cold.